목요일날 아침입니다. 주님의 말씀을 좀 The Life and the Mission of William Carey. No person was too insignificant. No person was too insignificant, no question too trivial for Carey to take with the utmost seriousness. Making peace with money. Body. The simplest way to work with the body is through exercise. Red letters. If the shadow of a darlit girl so much as falls on a member of a higher caste, she will be mercilessly beaten as punishment for polluting the high caste. Sought for the day. Through God's grace, I can live a life abundantly. The Competent Woman Devotional. One night I was lying in bed and heard a noise upstairs. The great house of God, a home for your heart. And what about Daniel? The missional leader, equipping your church to reach a changing world. His disciples are urged to go out into the world and invite the strangers, those who do not fit into the normal structure of the culture and who are viewed with suspicion, and invite them to the banquet. Working with God through pain and suffering. Why is my pain unending and my wound grievous and incurable? Intended for pleasure, sex technique, and sexual fulfillment in Christian marriage. But how effective is it? The condom has also had to overcome a reputation for unreliability. Depending your pace with reason and the precision. But I don't care. I'd rather have Jesus. He's all the world to me. Committed, a love story. It's always possible that the two of you will be unable to figure things out, but at least you know later on that you made a heartfelt effort to keep the walls and the windows of your marriage secured, and that knowledge can be comforting. In accordance with the ancient custom, It is desirable, if possible, that bishops be ordained on Sundays and other feast of our Lord, or on the feast of apostles or evangelists. Power to reinvent yourself, how to break the destructive patterns in your life. When she said, "Fire in the living room," I thought, the tree is in flames. Creator God, I am amazed at the glory of the heavens and the beauty of your handiwork. Discover how to make the leap, breakout churches. In our follow-up, we asked many of these respondents if they did not see a contradiction in their attitudes. Our daily bread, but there is a God of absolute, whose scales never lose their adjustment. When God's story becomes your story. For just as the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways, and my thought higher than your thought. Isaiah chapter 55. Student Study Bible. Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed? Jesus answers, I am. I am. So for the day, in the race of my Christian life, I want to finish it well. 소간 6周年 기념特別校 敗戦の爪痕が多く残る1951年。That's by love, letters from the cross. Here we see that not only does God the Father pour out wrath upon unrepentant sinners, but so does Jesus Christ. Just like Jesus, fixing your eyes on Jesus. There are times when we see, and there are times when we see. Let me show you what I mean. Everything changes the morning. You see the for sale sign on your neighbor's boat. What warning should we recall when tempted to sin? The grass withers, the flowers fade, but the word of our God remains forever. Isaiah chapter 40. In every pew sit a broken heart, hope for the hurting. Their praise is God-focused. So for the day, my service is stronger when I make time to rest with God. Your best life now. Oh, you can make a much better choice by getting it out in the open and asking God to help you to totally forgive and let it all go. How to act right when your spouse acts wrong. By saying nothing, Beth showed that she didn't love Roger enough to risk losing him. Waking the dead, the glory of a hearted fully alive. It moves from you did a bad thing to you are bad, or weak, or ugly, or prideful. You know how it goes. After a while, it just become a cloud we live under, accept as normal. Cinco Segas Newman. So, understanding the King James Bible. The goal of the translators of the King James Bible was to accurately translate the words found in the original languages. Creating success from the inside out, develop the focus and the strategy to uncover the life you want. Give, and it shall be given unto you, full measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Luke chapter 6. What's so great about the Christianity? Chapter 23. Opiate of the morally corrupt. Why unbelief is so appealing. It is wonderful not to have to cower before a vengeful deity who threatens us with eternal damnation if we do not abide by his rules. giving Christ first place. God defines love by his action. Our daily bread. This total life concept is built into the word translated training in Ephesians chapter 6. The four seasons of marriage, understanding and talking about the ever-changing cycles of marriage. For practical ways to help your spouse succeed, offer encouraging words, take supportive action, provide emotional support, express respect for your spouse. Just courage, God's great expedition for the restless Christian. Straddling that yawning chasm between the parents we'd like to be and the parents we are. These moms and dads are, for me, a picture of how earnestly we want to be good parents, but how hard and humbling the experience actually is. Straddling. We all made an agreement that it would be a 3-point average. A message on money or money talks, and you would do well to listen. Money doesn't talk, it screams. Anohi, hinote wa aganai no yo akeo mo modarashita no desu. Go and learn what this means. I desire mercy and not sacrifice. Matthew chapter 9. The power of being positive, enjoying God forever. When you go forth to battle against your enemies and see horses and chariots and an army greater than your own, do not be afraid of them, for the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, is with you. The essentials of prayer. The harvest will go to waste and perish without the laborers, while the laborers must be God chosen, God sent, and God commissioned. それから私は神があらゆる形で 私の努力に何倍も報いてくださるのに気づき始めたのです。The purpose-driven life. God gives some people the ability to make a lot of money. The purpose-driven life. 人生を導く5つの目的。自分らしく生きるための40章。罪との戦いの勝敗はあなたの心の中で決まりものです。The purpose-driven life. Keep a notebook or journal of lessons learned. This is not a diary of events, but a record of what you are learning. Healing the masculine soul, how God restores man to real manhood. If love came from human beings, to love more would simply mean gritting your teeth and trying harder. When God's people pray, when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that will never fade away. 1 Peter. The battle belongs to the Lord, overcoming life's struggle through worship. But we can go far beyond that because the same God who led the Israelites to victory after victory over their enemies is not only with us. Prepare the meal at the table in an electric skillet. I experience days when my mind is consumed with thought less than true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, or praiseworthy. John will help them get ready to welcome him. What I learned on the way to the top. Cal gives his dad credit for his work ethic and his will to win. Many who aspire to leadership fail because they've never learned to follow. The Gospel of Luke is the gospel of the man who was perfection incarnate, the only truly perfect human being incarnate. Celebration of discipline, the path to spiritual growth. Unimpatient half listening is an affront to the person sharing. If God is your co-pilot, switch the seat. The interview went badly. How high will you climb? Determine your success by cultivating the right attitudes. For whom he foreknew, he also predestined to become conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. And who he predestined, did he also call, and whom he called, did he also justified, and whom he justified, did he also glorified. The purpose-driven church grows without compromising your message and mission. And Charles, the great English pastor, despised the contemporary worship songs of his day, the same songs we now revere. There is no such thing as Christian music. There are only Christian lyrics. You see, the Bible tells about some bronze or brass and gold too. Women do not, as a rule, find masturbation by itself as satisfying as the man. Just what is due. The keys of the kingdom. And Jesus said to him, I will come and heal him. The role of pain and death in the Christian life. This world will be great and high, indicating the total security of those who will dwell within. When Dad wasn't on duty with the Navy, he found other ways to slip away from his family. Overcoming life's disappointment is not all about you. Now Moses was a humble man, more so than any other man on earth. Numbers chapter 12. The story of the world in the life of Jesus. Evidently, we can be very busy in church activities without real heart change and without real compassionate involvement with others. The DNA of relationship. How you feel about life often boils down to how you feel about your relationship. The purpose-driven life. We are simply God's servant. Psalm chapter 91, God's shield of protection at the end of the service. The second mountain. This new self-consciousness introduces you to yourself. Ministering cross-culturally. Being in very nature. My friend Andy called one day. Fearless. Then God and I had the most honest of talks. Thought for the day. I can trust God's promises. This is, however, a higher principle involved.